Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Mind, Body, and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of August 2019. As we speak, it's the new moon happening, the new moon in Leo. It's a very interesting energy, very powerful to work with our inner child and learn to know our ego better and learn how to work with it. All right, so keep that in mind in terms of like healing and intention. I feel it's relevant that it happened. I did reading right on the new moon, so maybe it's relevant to what is it that you're going through right now on this new moon, and whenever you actually get to see this reading, it may be connected. So, all right, so I have Judgment already as your current energy. All right, Taurus, we're starting strong. I think I should put this a little bit higher, sorry. Okay. Sorry for the technical adjustments in the middle of the reading. All right, let's see what is your challenge. What is difficult for you? All right, so Queen of Cups as your challenge. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Yes, I do. What is your advice, my dear Taurus? What is the advice for Taurus for the month of August 2019? So this is a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. Don't try to fit it in. Take it as like just checking in with the energy, and it's up to you what you do. Tarot doesn't tell you what to do. I don't tell you what to do. You are kind of like being walked through what's really happening. It's really just like showing you the map of the available energies. And there's the advice, of course, but it's up to you what you make of that and if you're gonna apply it or not. So you have the Two of Cups as your advice. All right, so what is it in the future energy based on this? What's coming in the future? This future energy for Taurus. Sun and rising signs. All right, so Ten of Wands. Right. So bottom of the deck as your underlying energy is the Chariot. And this is your theme. So you're basically working the Chariot right now. Before we go into it, it's already very interesting. But before we go into this, I want to clarify all these cards. So what is the Judgment here as your current energy? Where's the Judgment here? Why is the Judgment here as your... Alright. Five of Cups with Judgment. Why is the Queen of Cups as your challenge? Of course. Nine of Wands. Why is the Two of Cups as your advice? Where is the Two of Cups as your advice, Taurus? Five of Pentacles. How very interesting. This came up for Aries as well. Not as advice though. Why is the Ten of Wands as your future energy? Why is the Ten of Wands as your future energy? The Hermit. How beautiful. All right, and bottom of the deck. To go along with your theme, you have the Eight of Cups with the Chariot. All right, Taurus, so what's happening here? The Chariot is... Sorry, like this light isn't great here. The Chariot with Eight of Cups. You're balancing out. You're focusing actually. You're starting like after you've done the balancing. This is after the six. Sixes are about balancing and about um starting like going outside of yourself, going into the world. And this is a seven. This is an eight, by the way. And Chariot, the Chariot is like after you've balanced out, you've gone through the dark night of the soul, you've gone through into the light, and you've balanced them like together. There's integration there. There is working with both sides, not just like on one side only, right? And there, like the sphinxes are carrying this chariot. He's like guided by them, really. One pulls one direction, one pulls another direction, but he's like managing to keep it centered by having a pure heart. So you have this like square at the heart chakra, which is white. So he's keeping himself centered with that in that place of like, and it's also like it's a square. It has to do also with boundaries, and it has to do with like being home, being there, holding space for the heart position. So he knows how to balance the both sides that tend to like pull in the opposite direction together by understanding clearly what's the focus. He also has the star on his forehead. um so he's got that enlightenment. He knows that this is a healing journey. That this is a journey for discovery. So he's setting off for the journey. See, like the castle is behind. He's leaving behind the security of the castle in order to go out into the world. And that's pretty much what this character does as well. He's leaving behind all these like 8 cups and he's going out there to explore something else. He's had enough of whatever has been in here. It's not necessarily that it was something horrible in it. It's more like, okay, and see, it feels like there's a cup missing here. He's that missing piece that he's looking for in order to reach that 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. So you focused and you're working towards right now. What is it that this is the theme of your reading, right? You're working to understanding what is that missing piece. What is it that you need in order to feel fulfilled? And the Chariot is like very directed energy. You focused and you know what you're looking for. With this energy, is like you have like your intuition is on board. The moon is here, like watching over you, showing you, like illuminating your path. It's not like this person's going into the night, like he's leaving whatever he has behind here, and he's going into the night, into the darkness, into the shadow, into the subconscious. With the knowledge and understanding that he's safe to do so. Because he understands both the light and the dark, is not afraid of the dark. And you have the Judgment here as your current energy with the 5 of Cups. I'm just gonna leave them here because I don't like that shadow. I just like, okay. So Judgment, it has to do with the end of a cycle again. It has to do with sort of an assessment, like going back, looking back at yourself, looking back at your life so far. It's more like really pinpointing where you at, taking a look at your life as a whole, at this cycle as a whole, and kind of seeing like where are you really at, and doing so from a place of like with a gentle approach, not with judgment. Funny, like the judgment is not about judgment. The judgment is really about letting something go, letting the life that you used to live behind and forgive. forgive, like let go of everything that's been weighing heavy on you. And see, like, seeing where you at, for example, you're maybe in this place of like the Five of Cups has to do with grieving. It is grief. You're grieving over something that you lost, something that you miss, something that is not like you used to have but is not there anymore. It can be an emotional loss. It can be somebody that you used to love that's not in your life anymore. In less or more dramatic ways, can be somebody's death, can be somebody's like somebody just left you out in the cold, left you alone. But you know, the Five of Cups is an energy where you still have two cups, right? Like it's fine. Take your time to grieve. Take your time to kind of like, let go. I'm just seeing now that now there are three cups here, and there are these three people here in the first plane, wakening up. It's waking up and being like naked and coming out of the graves and receiving this salvation from the angel. Um, if you're grieving over some sort of loss, know that they're going through their karmic journey, and um, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve. It's really important to grieve, really. But grieve not for them, but for yourself. They're all right wherever they are, and they're going to be okay. Whether they're in this life, in this dimension, or in the next one, or wherever they are, they're going to be okay. And you are going to be okay as well. You still have two cups here. You're going to you're going to go through all this journey where you're actually looking for other things to feel and experience. So it's fine. Take your time. You're safe to grieve. It is safe to allow this separation to happen, to integrate the fact that whatever it is being spilled in here, you just say your goodbyes. It's fine. And forgive them or yourself for whatever happened in these dynamics here. Whatever this loss is about, forgive all the parties involved, including yourself, or especially yourself. Judgment is a lot about forgiveness. This is the way we stop carrying the energy of betrayal, or of rejection, or like somehow we always take this conclusion in the back of our minds that there's something wrong with us if we've been rejected, if we've been abandoned, if we've been betrayed one way or another. And no, it's not really. That's not what this is. And you know that at a rational level. Most of us really know this. But somehow, like if life keeps bringing up the same patterns over and over again, that I don't know, falling in love with somebody that's gonna leave me, or like being cheated on, or these patterns that keep repeating themselves, they happen because we need to resolve some issues from early childhood that has to do with the family model that I received, and the way I've been hurt and abandoned, betrayed in the past. So I kind of put myself in repeating the same situation over and over again, hoping that I will resolve it. And that's the point. You will. Judgment also shows that you're kind, or you are, as we speak. Judgment is about like a huge transformation. It's a huge transformation, and it's rebirth. So in a way, I feel like, yes, you find yourself in this place of grief, but it's not going to last forever. It's probably the end of it. It's probably that time where you can like move on from here. It's okay to take your time. Don't feel like, okay, now gotta get out of here. No, you feel through, and you'll know when it's time. But I feel like you're in that space right now of transition out of the grief. And what's challenging for you right now is the Queen of Cups with the Nine of Wands. When we have the Judgment card and when we look at ourselves, like we really look at ourselves that naked, we really see through. It is sometimes difficult to be really, really nurturing and empathetic with ourselves. We tend to judge ourselves. Why have I done this? Oh, I shouldn't have done this. Oh no, it's my fault. It's all my fault they left. It's my fault that they did this or they did that. And it makes sense, like you're wounded. You're really wounded here. And you feel like, I feel so tired of this. You feel like it's been going on forever. And it's really, really, really hard to have the patience and the composure the Queen of Cups has. And I think this is it's really needed, actually. Right now, you need to be as gentle as possible with yourself and everyone involved in this dynamic of energy. Whatever loss you've been through, don't judge it from, oh, they left me, they are horrible, or oh, I left, I'm horrible, or they left because I'm horrible, or oh my god, I didn't get to say goodbye, I didn't, all these things. I mean, like, it's very easy to get stuck in them. And you know, it's just, it's challenging. It really is challenging to be nurturing and but, you know, this whole judgment and forgiveness with the Queen of Cups, they go really well together, and makes a lot of sense that this is what is needed right now. But I understand why it's hard with this Nine of Wands here. It's really hard to forgive when you're so wounded, and when you're in this in this loss energy. It's really, really hard. And see, you have as advice the Two of Cups with the Five of Pentacles. And the Two of Cups is about, in this case, I think, because you have also the Five of Cups here and this like wounded person, it has to do with your relationships. And see, like, you've been like feeling isolated, feeling left out in the cold. There's a lot of like abandonment issues here in this reading. There's so much about really feeling like very, very lonely. And you know what? It's fine. It's normal. I know you don't need my approval. It is not about this. It's just like sometimes it's really difficult because when we feel lonely, we also feel needy, and we feel the need to kind of like cut that off because it's a horrible feeling and all that thing. And you know, with the Two of Cups here as your advice, it tells me that you're not really alone. You're not really like abandoned here in the cold. Like the Five of Pentacles is about somebody who's like stuck into this feeling of lack, of scarcity, of you know, woundedness, feeling like abandoned, feeling crippled, feeling like I don't know, everything is somehow out against them. The institutions are failed them. The social service, the system failed them. They're like, and I understand. I mean, I've been here. I've been here so many times. It's such a difficult energy. It's such a difficult energy. And but the Five of Pentacles also says that there is support available out there, that there is help. See, this is a church here, and they only need to really step out of this energy. They can't see it right now because they're too stuck into their own in this terrible sadness. But it's fine, you know, you need this to grow. You need to go through this feeling of loneliness and abandonment in order to find uh, where where are the resources really? Are they outside of myself or not? The Two of Cups says that no, they're not outside of myself, they're within myself. I am able to fill up my own cup, and this is how I can show up in relationships and partnerships with a full cup. Sharing, not hoping for someone to fill up like my cup, you know. My resources are within, and when I realize this, I am able to focus to show up in a partnership that is like a healthy exchange, in a healthy relationship. It doesn't necessarily need to be romantic. It can also be relationship with absolutely everyone that you care about. It does tend to go towards romantic as well, but not only. Don't limit it at that. Can be with a family member, it can be with your lover, it can be with somebody close to you, like a really really close friend, or it can be just a symbolism for each and every relationship that you show up in. Look at this and empathize with it. It's really really hard to be empathetic, to be like not judging this. A lot of us, like many of us, are like we're feeling really really lonely when we are surrounded by friends and family, or when, you know, we feel like, okay, here I am, privileged, I have food, I have a roof over my head, I have internet, I have all this, and why on earth am I feeling so miserable? This is just not fair. I get it. It's not fun to be in that energy, but in order to be able to relate to others that are going through the same thing, we are going through this as well, and we learn how to heal this. And it's not just that, I mean, like okay, it is at a like large scale of your healing journey and as your growth as a soul, but this it's coming from as I said, abandonment issues. It may be that you choose all the time people, you feel attracted to people that will eventually abandon you one way or another, won't really be there for you. And that's maybe because you've been abandoned in that way, you know, in a very early childhood. It's it's the brain's way of looking for healing, really. We're triggering the wound over and over again because we need to understand what is it that is wounded. It needs resolution. And that resolution comes from making my peace with my past, making my peace with whatever happens, and go out there or in there within myself and rescuing those parts of me that had been abandoned. You go for therapy if it's needed. You know, therapy is fucking fantastic. It's great, and it is important to have support and to really really learn how to address whatever abandonment issues you may be carrying. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands with the Hermit as your future energy. So yeah, this can feel a little bit overwhelming. This can feel like, you know, you've been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And this is probably why your whole work is to focus and to move on here, to move away from the situation as it is. And it comes with the Hermit, so I feel like you first notice it by going within. And you know, this is a 10, this is the end of a cycle. It's part of your like um spiritual journey, your awareness, your self-awareness. You become aware that you've been carrying all this shit on your shoulders. And it's great that you did. I mean, like, it made you stronger, but it's time to let it go. Like, everything will be dropped into the ground, and ground all that thing, and then move into your next cycle with your one wand of awareness and enlightenment and awakening. So this happens because you can take some time to go within, to go alone, to investigate. This can happen through therapy, going through serious healing investigation. He's carrying the star here. The star in the major arcana comes right after the tower, when your world fell apart, and then you start healing the wounds after that, and it brings hope of change and also like sort of like feeling guided by the universe and protected with the whole star out there. And the Hermit is carrying the star in his what's this called, I forgot. Well, here, and he's going with this light into the darkness, and it's like very investigative energy. You know, this is the Hermit, like, take some time, take some space, and go within. And I think that this happens naturally anyway. See, like, the Hermit in this case is going towards this Five of Pentacles here. It's maybe really, really understanding the source of this pain, the source of this isolation, the source of this abandonment, the source of this feeling always like left on the outside, and having to just survive extreme temperatures, extreme famine, and all that things. You start understanding, like, you see, it's kind of like bringing light into this, and breathing not just light but healing light, bringing hope, bringing awareness. And you may understand also how you've been carrying too much on your shoulder. You've been carrying maybe for so many other people, not just your own pain here. The 9 of and 10 of Wands here. I'm sure you've seen it. So it's like, you know, you're healing. This is a healing journey. And this is just like really, really inspiring. This will help you get where you need to go. In this space where you feel secure and you feel healthily to move on from wherever you've been. To know that you've had enough of whatever you've been having in these cups for so long, and you can move on to that place of looking for that missing cup of fulfillment. All right, Taurus, I hope this makes sense to you. It's an inspiring reading. Really, really, really hope that, you know, you have supportive energy there. It feels a little bit lonely and painful, but it's taking you exactly where you need to go. So hang in there. I'm sending you so much love. I hope it makes sense. So if you resonate with this, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you here next time.